What would you do if the people you trusted to keep you safe turned out to be the ones pulling you into a trap? In the quiet suburban sprawl of Willow Creek, where manicured lawns and picket fences painted a picture of order, my cousin Leo learned the answer the hard way. It was a humid summer evening, the kind where the air clung to your skin like a second shirt, and the cicadas screamed louder than your thoughts. Leo, all of 19, was pedaling his beat-up mountain bike through the neighborhood, his earbuds blasting some punk anthem, oblivious to the storm brewing just beyond the cul-de-sacs. Leo was the kind of guy who lived for the moment, wild, unpolished, with a grin that could charm a snake. He'd been staying with my family for the summer, crashing on our couch while he figured out what to do after dropping out of college. He loved Willow Creek for its wide streets, perfect for biking, but he hated the HOA. The homeowners association here was infamous, a self-appointed council of busybodies who patrolled the neighborhood like they owned every blade of grass. They'd fine you for a crooked mailbox or a lawn half an inch too long. Leo called them the Karen Cops, a nickname that stuck after he got a warning for parking his bike on our driveway instead of in the garage. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the asphalt, Leo was riding back from the corner store with a bag of chips dangling from his handlebars. He didn't notice the white SUV creeping behind him until its headlights flicked on, blinding him. Two men stepped out, wearing crisp navy polos with Willow Creek HOA security embroidered in gold. They looked official to official. One was tall, with a buzz cut and a jaw like a bulldog's. The other was shorter, wiry, with eyes that darted like he was scanning for trouble. "Hey, kid," Buzzcut called, his voice sharp. "Pull over. You're in violation." Leo yanked out an earbud, squinting. "Violation? It's a bike, man. I'm not speeding." The wiry one smirked, tapping a clipboard. "Unregistered vehicle on HOA property. You didn't file for a permit." Leo laughed, a short, incredulous bark. "A permit? For a bike? You guys serious?" Buzzcut stepped closer, his shadow swallowing Leo's frame. "Get off the bike. Now." Something about their tone, the way it was too calm, too rehearsed, sent a chill down Leo's spine. He glanced around. The street was empty, the houses dark. Most folks were inside, eating dinner or watching TV. He could have bolted, but the SUV was angled to block the road, and these guys didn't look like they'd take kindly to a chase. Reluctantly, he swung his leg over the bike and let it clatter to the ground. "Hands where we can see 'em," Wiry said, pulling out a flashlight and shining it in Leo's face. "We've had reports of vandalism." "You match the description." "Vandalism?" Leo's voice cracked with disbelief. "I was buying Doritos, not spray painting fences." Buzzcut grabbed Leo's arm, twisting it behind his back. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be." That's when I got the call. I was at home, scrolling through my phone, when Leo's name popped up. His voice was low, urgent. "Yo, Mia. I'm on Oak Street. These HOA goons are hassling me. They're acting weird, like not normal weird. Can you come get me?" I was already grabbing my keys. "Stay calm, Leo. I'm coming." I sped over in my old Corolla, my heart pounding. Oak Street was only a few blocks away, but it felt like miles. When I pulled up, I saw Leo standing by his bike, the two HOA security guys looming over him. The SUV's headlights cast an eerie glow, and something about the scene felt wrong, like a stage set for a play no one had rehearsed. "Hey!" I shouted, stepping out of the car. "What's going on?" Buzzcut turned, his face unreadable. "Ma'am, this doesn't concern you. Return to your vehicle." "He's my cousin," I snapped, marching toward them. "You're not cops. Let him go." Wiry's smirk faltered, and for a split second, I saw something in his eyes, panic, maybe, or calculation. Before I could process it, the sound of engines roared in the distance. Headlights flooded the street, and a convoy of military Humvees screeched to a stop, surrounding us. Soldiers poured out, rifles at the ready, their boots thundering against the pavement. 50 of them, at least, fanning out in a disciplined arc. A man in a captain's uniform stepped forward, his face hard as granite. "Stand down," the captain barked at the two men. "Hands in the air." Buzzcut and Wiry froze, their faces paling. Leo stumbled back, his eyes wide. I grabbed his arm, pulling him toward me. "What the hell is happening?" he whispered. The captain approached, his gaze locked on the two men. "You're under arrest for impersonation, extortion, and suspicion of trafficking. We've been tracking you for weeks." My stomach dropped. Trafficking? These weren't just overzealous HOA nuts. The soldiers cuffed Buzzcut and Wiry, who didn't resist but exchanged a look that made my skin crawl like they knew something we didn't. As they were led away, the captain turned to us. "You're lucky," he said. "These two aren't HOA, they're part of a ring targeting kids like you, luring them into traps under the guise of authority." Leo's face was ashen. "A ring? Like what kind of ring?" The captain didn't answer. Instead, he gestured to a soldier, who handed him a tablet. "We need your statements. Now." As we gave our accounts, a woman emerged from one of the Humvees. She was in her 40s, dressed in civilian clothes but with a military bearing. Her name tag read, Dr. Elena Voss. She introduced herself as a psychologist working with the task force. "You're safe now," she said, her voice soft but firm. "But I need to know if they said anything unusual to you. Anything at all." Leo shook his head, still dazed. "They just kept talking about violations. Permit stupid HOA stuff." Dr. Voss's eyes narrowed. "That's their cover. They pose as HOA security to scout targets usually young, isolated, easy to intimidate. They've been abducting kids across the state, selling them to, well, you don't need to know the details." I felt sick. Leo was just a kid with a bike. A kid who didn't fit into Willow Creek's perfect little mold. And that made him a target. Dr. Voss stayed with us, her presence oddly comforting, like a lighthouse in a storm. She asked Leo about his life, his dreams, even his dumb punk band, and for a moment, it felt like she was the only one who saw him as more than a troublemaker. But then came the twist. As the soldiers wrapped up, one of them approached the captain, holding a phone. "Sir, we found this on the shorter suspect. It's got a video, you need to see it." The captain watched the screen, his face darkening. He motioned for Dr. Voss to join him. Her expression shifted from calm to horror in seconds. "That's not possible," she whispered. "What?" I demanded, my voice shaking. "What's on the video?" The captain hesitated, then handed me the phone. The footage was grainy, but clear enough. It showed a man in a Willow Creek HOA polo, standing in a warehouse, talking to someone off-screen. "The kid's perfect," he said. "Rebellious, no real ties. We can move him tonight." The camera panned to a figure tied to a chair. Leo. Except it wasn't Leo. It was a boy who looked eerily like him, down to the same ripped jeans and messy hair. The timestamp was from a week ago. "That's not me," Leo said, his voice barely audible. "I was at Mia's all week." Dr. Voss's face was grim. "They've been planning this for longer than we thought. They must have mistaken you for their previous target." The realization hit like a freight train. These men hadn't just stumbled across Leo. They'd been watching him, waiting because he fit their profile. And Dr. Voss, she wasn't just a psychologist. She'd been tracking this ring for years, haunted by the ones she couldn't save. Her kindness wasn't just professional. It was personal. The soldiers took us home, but the air in Willow Creek felt different now, tainted. Leo didn't ride his bike again. He moved back to his mom's place a week later, quieter, his spark dimmed. I kept expecting him to crack a joke, to call the HOA Karen cops one more time, but he never did. The neighborhood, with its perfect lawns and nosy patrols, felt like a Leah mask hiding something darker. Dr. Voss called me a month later. The ring had been dismantled, but the boy from the video was never found. She didn't say it, but I could hear the weight in her voice, the kind that comes from carrying too many ghosts. Leo was safe, but safety felt like a fluke, a roll of the dice that could have gone the other way. Willow Creek went back to its routines, the HOA issuing fines, the lawns staying pristine. But every time I passed Oak Street, I saw those headlights, those fake cops, and the soldiers who came just in time. And I wondered how many others didn't get that chance. ND.